This looks like an ordinary door, but it's silently draining hundreds of dollars from your pocket every single year. Nobody notices it until it's too late. What if I told you the fix costs less than your morning coffee? An $8 item that most homeowners have never even heard of. It sounds too simple to be true. One woman ignored this for 3 years straight. Her electricity bill kept climbing until it hit $400 in a single month. She had no idea why. What if the answer was hiding in her own front door this whole time? Not the walls, not the windows, just one tiny overlooked gap. This isn't a home renovation. It's not an expensive contractor. It's an $8 secret that quietly changes everything. By the end of this video, you'll wonder why nobody told you sooner. Stay with me because this story gets stranger and the ending will surprise you. Every winter, warm air escapes through cracks you can't even see. Your heater works harder. Your bill quietly climbs higher. Every summer, cool air leaks right back out. Your AC fights a losing battle it never wins, and you pay for that fight every single month. Most people blame the thermostat. They blame the weather. But the real thief is smaller than a coin, hiding along the doorframe. This tiny leak can waste up to 30% of your entire energy bill. That's not a small number. That's real money disappearing into thin air. Sarah didn't know this either. Her bills kept climbing every single month, and she had no idea where the money was going. She called a technician for answers. He charged her $150 just to walk through her house. That's when things got strange. He found nothing broken, no wiring issues, no major problems at all. Just a gap the size of a pencil. That tiny gap had been open for 3 years straight. Cold air and warm air had been leaking through it every single day. Nobody ever checked. Nobody warned her about this because nobody profits from an $8 fix. Big companies want you to call the expensive experts instead. The bigger the company, the less they want you to know this. Simple fixes don't make the money. Silence does. She left that appointment more confused than ever. But that same night, something caught her eye near the front door. Something small, something forgotten. A thin strip of foam tucked deep inside a drawer, forgotten for years, covered in dust. She almost didn't notice it at all. She almost threw it away, thinking it was useless junk, but something told her to pause first. Something told her to search it up. She pulled out her phone in the dark. The blue glow lit up her face, and what she found online shocked her completely. An entire article explained exactly what this strip could do. It wasn't a random product. It was an engineered solution decades old. Engineers had studied this exact fix decades ago. It wasn't new technology at all. It had simply been forgotten by everyone. It wasn't hiding in secrecy. It was hiding in plain sight, sitting quietly on hardware store shelves for years. Nobody talked about it. This fix had a simple name: weather stripping, a word most people have heard but never truly understood. A simple strip of rubber doing the job of a $150 technician. It seemed almost impossible. How could something this small matter this much? But could something this small really make a real difference? She stared at it for a long moment. Then she decided to find out herself. That same night, she gathered a few simple tools. No contractor, no appointment, just her, the door, and this tiny strip. She measured the gap carefully, exactly 6 millimeters wide. It didn't look like much at all. 6 millimeters doesn't sound like a big deal, but multiplied by 365 days a year, it becomes a silent, endless money leak. She stared at that number in disbelief. Every single day, money had been slipping through this crack, and she never even knew it. She cut the foam strip carefully to size. Her hands moved slowly, almost nervously. This was her first real test. Before applying anything, she cleaned the frame completely. Dust and dirt stop adhesive from sticking properly. Every small detail mattered here. Tiny particles were wiped away one by one. It looked simple, almost too simple, but this step decided if the fix would even work. Next, she measured the exact length of the gap again. A wrong measurement could waste the entire strip. Precision mattered more than speed.
One small mistake here and the whole fix falls apart. She double-checked everything twice. This wasn't the time to rush. With scissors in hand, she cut the strip carefully. Straight lines mattered more than she expected. Every inch had a purpose. Slowly, she peeled back the adhesive backing. No rushing, no shortcuts. This part required patience above everything else. Then she pressed it firmly along the frame. Every inch had to make full contact. A loose section would defeat the entire purpose. She checked the strip from top to bottom. No gaps left open anywhere. This had to be sealed completely or none of it would matter. Slowly, she closed the door to test the seal. Her heart beat a little bit faster. This was the real moment of truth. The door pressed tightly against the new foam. It felt firm, almost snug. That resistance was exactly what she wanted to feel. The whole process took less than 10 minutes. No tools beyond scissors and a cloth. No technician, no appointment, no hundreds of dollars spent. She stood back and looked at her work. It seemed almost too simple to matter. But the real test would come the next morning. The next morning arrived quietly. Sunlight touched the front door softly. She walked over, curious to see if anything felt different. She checked the thermostat first thing. It barely had to cycle on and off. Something had clearly changed overnight. The house felt warmer without the heater running longer. The air inside felt still and steady. No more constant temperature swings. No more cold draft near the door for the first time in years. She stood there for a moment, almost in disbelief. Something this small had actually worked. She didn't feel a dramatic change right away, but the meter outside told a different story. Numbers don't lie, even when we can't feel the difference ourselves. 1 week later, she checked her energy app. She almost didn't believe the graph in front of her. The trend was undeniable. The number on the screen made her stop breathing for a second. This wasn't a small change. This was real, measurable savings. Her energy usage had dropped more than she ever imagined. One simple fix had shifted the entire pattern, and it kept dropping every single day after that. This wasn't luck or coincidence. It was simple physics finally working in her favor. Sealed air behaves completely differently than air left free to escape. Sealed air stays exactly where it belongs, inside your home. It doesn't leak out slowly through hidden cracks anymore. Every degree you pay for finally stays put. Escaped air means your heater or AC never truly stops working. It runs constantly just to replace what's leaking out. That endless cycle drains your wallet quietly. One small seal stops that endless cycle completely. The system finally gets to rest, and resting systems cost far less to run. It's not magic, and it's not luck. It's simple math most people never bothered to check, and that math adds up faster than anyone expects. Once she understood this, she started checking other doors too. Every gap she found told the same story. Small leaks, repeated everywhere, quietly adding up. She sealed one door after another. Each one took only minutes to finish, and each one added a little more to her growing savings.
By the end of the month, her bill was $60 lower. That number alone felt surprising, but it was only the beginning of what was coming. By the end of the year, that number multiplied fast. Month after month, the savings kept stacking. What started small had become something significant. $8 spent once had turned into hundreds saved every single year. It sounded unbelievable when she said it out loud, but the numbers spoke for themselves. She wasn't rich and she wasn't lucky. She was simply informed, one small step ahead of everyone else. That's all it took to change everything. The fix worked so well that she checked every door in the house. She wasn't going to leave a single gap unchecked. Every corner deserved a closer look now. Her home finally felt tightly wrapped and protected. No more cold spots, no more mysterious drafts. Just a house that finally worked with her, not against her. Neighbors started noticing something different. Her lights stayed on longer for far less cost. They wanted to know exactly what she had done. She told them the secret without hesitation. They couldn't believe something so simple could matter so much. A few of them tried it that very same week. One small fix quietly spread through the entire neighborhood. House after house, the same story repeated.
An $8 idea was slowly changing an entire neighborhood. What started as an $8 experiment became a full lifestyle shift. She began looking at her home completely differently. Every corner suddenly seemed worth checking. She started checking windows next and found the exact same hidden gaps waiting there too. The pattern repeated itself all over again. The same $8 fix worked there just as well. No special tools, no extra cost, just the same simple solution applied in a new place. Her whole house slowly became one sealed, efficient system. Every leak she sealed added to the last. The results kept building on themselves. The savings weren't temporary or a one-time surprise. They repeated every single month without her doing anything else. That consistency changed how she saw her whole home. This wasn't a one-time trick that faded away. It was a permanent shift in how her home behaved, and it kept paying her back month after month. An $8 fix had quietly outperformed a $150 technician visit. Nobody expected that outcome, least of all her. Sometimes the smallest answer is the right one. But this door was only the beginning of her story. There were other hidden fixes still waiting to be found, and she wasn't finished looking yet. What other hidden fixes are sitting in your own home right now? Somewhere close, something small might be costing you more than you realize. You just haven't looked yet. Somewhere in your house, something small is quietly costing you big. It doesn't announce itself. It just sits there, waiting to be noticed. You might be walking past it every single day, right past the exact spot that's draining your money. Most people never even think to check. The fix is cheap, but the ignorance is expensive. An $8 solution sits quietly on a shelf somewhere. Meanwhile, your bill keeps climbing without it. Sarah found her leak completely by accident. Will you find yours on purpose before it costs you another year? If an $8 fix changed her life, imagine what it could do for yours.